The coffee mug sits cold on the counter, steam long gone. I brewed it an hour ago, thinking maybe the smell would pull me out of this fog. It didn't. The kitchen clock ticks past 6 p.m., the time Matt usually stumbles through the door, tie loose, grin tired but real. Except tonight, he won't. I'm staring at the front door like it's going to explain itself, like it'll tell me why he's gone for good. My name's Sarah Jennings, born and raised in Raleigh, North Carolina. For 10 years, I thought Matt. And I had something solid, 2 people who fit, no questions asked. He was steady, the kind of guy who'd fix your car in the rain or leave sticky notes on the fridge with dumb jokes. We didn't have kids, didn't need them. It was just us, and that was enough. At least, I thought it was. Now, I'm not so sure. Matt died 3 weeks ago. Car accident, they said. A slick road, a sharp curve, no skid marks. The cop's face was blank when he told me, like he'd said it 100 times before. I nodded, clutching my sweater, like I could hold myself together if I just gripped hard enough. The funeral was a haze, people I barely knew shaking my hand, saying he was a great guy, their voices soft but empty. My best friend, Lisa, stayed close, pushing plates of casseroles I couldn't eat. My brother, Ethan, showed up late, his hug quick, his eyes darting away. "I'm so sorry, Sarah," he said, but something in his tone didn't sit right. Too careful, maybe. Too polished. That night, Ethan lingered in the living room, picking at a beer. "Matt ever mention a loan?" he asked, casual, like he was asking about the weather. I froze. "What loan?" He shrugged, too quick. "Just something he helped me out with. No big deal. You're good now, right? Financially?" I stared, my gut twisting. Matt never mentioned any loan. Never mentioned much about Ethan at all. Now that I think about it, I couldn't sleep after that. I wandered the house, touching things, Matt's old jacket, the scuffed dining table, our wedding photo where we're laughing like kids. It felt like a museum of someone else's life. That's when I found it, a small key tucked in the pocket of his work bag. Not a house key, not a car key. Something else. He'd always said his storage unit was just for old files, boring stuff. "Nothing you'd care about, Sarah," he'd say with that easy smile. I never pushed. I trusted him. But now, trust feels like a bad joke. The next morning, I drove to the storage place, a squat building off the highway, all concrete and chain-link fences. The key felt heavy in my hand, like it knew something I didn't. The lock clicked, and the door rolled up with a groan. I stepped inside, and my breath caught. This wasn't a storage unit. It was a life I didn't know. The walls were plastered with photos, maps, and handwritten notes. Matt, but not my Matt. In these pictures, he's in jeans and a faded tee. Hair messy, laughing in ways I hadn't seen in years. And in every photo, there's a woman. Blonde, maybe mid-30s, with a smile that cuts. There at a lake, a bar, a snowy cabin. Her hands on his shoulder, his arm around her waist. Dates on the photos go back 6 years. One from last month, when I was home, making chili for him. There's a name on the back of one, Claire. And Ben, June 2024. My stomach lurches. Ben. A kid, maybe 20, standing with them in a few shots, looking just like Matt. I sank onto a folding chair, staring at a stack of folders on a metal table. Bank statements, property deeds, emails about some company called Blue Horizon. None of it made sense. Matt was a contractor, not some corporate guy. But here's proof he was moving money, buying properties, living a whole other life. And then, a medical report. His name, dated 2 months ago. Heart condition. High risk. He knew. He knew he was running out of time, and he never told me. I'm still sitting there when I hear footsteps. I spin around, heart hammering, and there's the kid from the photos. Ben. Same dark eyes as Matt, same quiet way of standing. "Sarah Jennings," he says, voice low. I nod, barely. "I'm Ben." Matt was my dad. The world tilts. I grip the table, my voice gone. He steps closer, hands up like he's calming a spooked animal. "I didn't want you to find out like this. I swear. I can't speak, can't think. My husband had a son. A son he hid from me. A whole family I didn't know existed. Hey, I'm just a regular person trying to figure this out, same as you," I say to myself, or maybe to anyone who might hear this story later. I'm from Raleigh, born and raised, and I thought I knew my life. But if this hits you, if it feels real, drop a like or a comment. Maybe even subscribe, it helps keep stories like mine out there. I'm not sure what's next, but I know I'm not stopping until I get answers. Ben's words hang in the air, heavy like the dust in this storage unit. I'm still gripping the edge of the metal table, my knuckles white, trying to anchor myself to something real. My husband had a son, and a woman named Claire. My mind spinning, replaying every moment I thought I knew Matt, every Late night he said he was working, every weekend trip he called business. I want to scream, but my throat's too tight. Instead, I just stare at Ben, his face so much like Matt's it hurts to look at him. How long? I finally choke out. How long did you know about me? Ben shifts, hands in his pockets, eyes on the floor. My whole life, he says, quiet but steady. Dad, Matt, kept things separate. Mom didn't talk about you much, just said you were his wife, that you had your own life. She didn't want to mess with that. He pauses, like he's choosing his words carefully. After Mom died last year, he started coming around more. Said he wanted to make things right. Make things right? I laugh, but it's sharp, bitter. He had a whole family I didn't know about, Ben. What part of that gets made right? He doesn't answer right away. Instead, he pulls a folded paper from his jacket, worn at the edges like it's been carried too long. This might explain some of it, he says, handing it to me. My hands shake as I unfold it. It's Matt's handwriting, neat and familiar. The same script he used for grocery lists and birthday cards. It's a letter, not a will, but it's addressed to both of us, me and Ben. Sarah, Ben, it starts. If you're reading this, I'm gone, and I'm sorry. I never meant for it to end like this. I thought I could keep everything in its place, but I was wrong. Sarah, you deserved better. Ben, you did too. There's a safe in my office, downtown, 4th floor, behind the bookshelf. The code's in the watch I gave you, Sarah. Everything you need is there, answers, proof, protection. Don't trust Ethan. He's deeper in this than you know. My breath catches the watch. Matt gave it to me 2 weeks before the accident, a silver thing with a leather strap, said it was an early anniversary gift. I thought it was sweet, random. Now it feels like a puzzle piece I didn't know I was holding. I look up at Ben. What's he mean about Ethan? Ben's jaw tightens. Dad mentioned him once, said he was tied up with some people, business stuff. I didn't get details. Mom always said Dad was mixed up in things he couldn't get out of. I thought she meant debts, maybe. But now, he gestures at the room, the walls of photos and papers. This is bigger. I nod, but my mind's racing. Ethan's my brother, the guy who'd crash on our couch when his life fell apart, who'd borrow $20 and never pay it back. Matt always liked him, or so I thought. But now I'm remembering little things, Ethan showing up at odd hours, Matt cutting conversations short when I walked in. I thought it was just guy stuff. Now. It feels like a lie I was too blind to see. We need to get to that safe, I say, standing, my legs shaky but moving anyway. You coming? Ben nods. Yeah. But we should hurry. If Ethan knows about this place, others might too. I call Lisa on the way. She picks up on the first ring, her voice sharp with worry. Sarah, where are you? You didn't answer my texts. I'm okay, I lie. Can you meet me at Matt's office? I need you there. I don't tell her about Ben, not yet. It's too much to explain over the phone. She agrees, no questions, because that's Lisa, she's ride or die, always has been. The office is downtown, a glass building that looks too fancy for a contractor. Matt always said it was just a shared space for client meetings, nothing special. I never came here, never had a reason to. Ben's got a keycard, though, and the security guard barely glances at us. Mr. Jennings listed me as a contact, Ben says, smooth, like he's done this before. I wonder how many times he's been here. How many secrets Matt shared with him instead of me. The elevator hums to the 4th floor. The office is sparse, desk, chair, bookshelf, no personal touches. No photos of us, no trace of the life we built. Just cold, clean lines and a faint smell of aftershave that isn't Matt's. Ben points to the bookshelf. It's behind there. I pull the watch from my purse, turning it over. The back's engraved with tiny numbers, almost invisible unless you're looking. I read them out loud, July 19th, 24. Ben types them into a keypad hidden behind a row of books. A click, and the shelf swings open, revealing a small safe. My heart's pounding as he opens it. Inside, there's a USB drive, a stack of papers, and a small velvet box. I grab the box first, my fingers clumsy. It's a necklace, simple, with a single pearl pendant. Not my style, not something I'd wear. Inside the clasp, there's an inscription, see always. Claire. My chest tightens. He didn't just have a son. He had a whole other love. Ben's watching me, his face unreadable. You okay? He asks. No, I say, honest for the first time all day. But let's keep going. I hand him the USB drive, and he tucks it into his pocket. The papers are contracts, bank records, emails, pages of numbers and names I don't recognize. Blue Horizon again, and something about offshore accounts. There's a note clipped to one page, Matt's handwriting again. If they come for you, use this. They'll back off. Who's they? I ask, my voice barely a whisper. Ben shakes his head. I don't know. But Dad was scared. Last time I saw him, he said people were watching him. Said he'd made mistakes. I want to ask more, but my phone buzzes. Ethan's name on the screen. I hesitate, then answer. Sarah, where you at? His voice is too casual, like he's forcing it. Why do you care? I snap, sharper than I mean to. He laughs, but it's off. Just checking on you. You've been weird since the funeral. Found anything interesting in Matt's stuff? My blood runs cold. He knows something. I'm fine, Ethan. I'll call you later. I hang up before he can push. Ben's watching me, eyes narrow. He's fishing, Ben says. We need to move. We leave the office, the safe locked behind us, the USB drive burning a hole in Ben's pocket. Lisa's waiting outside, her car idling. She takes one look at Ben and raises an eyebrow. Who's this? Long story, I say. Let's get to your place. At Lisa's, I spill everything, the storage unit, the photos, Ben, the safe. She doesn't interrupt, just listens, her face going from shock to anger to something softer. I'm so sorry, Sarah, she says, grabbing my hand. What do you want to do? I don't know, I admit. But I need to know what's on that drive. And I need to know why Ethan's acting like he's got something to hide. Ben pulls out his laptop, plugs in the USB. A password prompt pops up. Any ideas? He asks. I think of the watch, the necklace, the lies. Try Claire, I say, my voice flat. He types it in. The screen unlocks. Files, dozens of them, spreadsheets, scanned documents, audio clips. One folder catches my eye, insurance. I click it, and there's a single video file. My hands are shaking as I hit play. Matt's face fills the screen, older than I remember, lines deeper, eyes tired. Sarah, Ben, he says, voice low. If you're watching this, I'm gone. I messed up, big time. I thought I could keep you both safe by keeping you apart, but I was wrong. There's people, bad people, who wanted what I had. Money, deals, things I shouldn't have touched. Ethan's involved. He's not who you think, Sarah. Be careful. The video cuts off. I'm frozen, staring at the black screen. Ethan. My brother. Matt's warning echoes in my head, and I realize I'm not just grieving a husband. I'm unraveling a life I never really knew. The screen's still black, Matt's voice echoing in my head like a ghost that won't leave. I'm sitting on Lisa's couch, the USB drive on the coffee table like it's radioactive. Ben's pacing, hands running through his hair, looking like he's trying to solve a puzzle with half the pieces missing. Lisa's staring at me, her eyes wide, waiting for me to say something. But I can't. Not yet. My brother, Ethan, tied up in whatever mess Matt was in? It's too much. I feel like I'm drowning in a life that isn't mine anymore, Sarah. Lisa says softly, breaking the silence. What do you want to do about Ethan? I shake my head, my throat tight. I don't know. He's my brother. He's family. But, I trail off, thinking about his shifty eyes at the funeral, the way he asked about that loan like it was nothing. Matt said not to trust him. I need to know why. Ben stops pacing, leans against the wall. There's more on the drive, he says. Files, recordings, emails. Maybe something in there explains it. I nod, but my stomach's in knots. I don't want to dig deeper, but I can't stop now. I grab the laptop, my fingers clumsy as I scroll through the insurance folder. There's a file labeled e-transactions. I click it, and a spreadsheet opens, rows of numbers, dates, bank accounts. Some are in Matt's name, some in Blue Horizon's. And a few, too many, have Ethan's name attached. Transfers, thousands of dollars, moving to accounts I've never heard of. Cayman Islands, Switzerland, places that sound like they belong in a movie. Not my life. This is him, I whisper. Ethan was moving money with Matt. Lisa leans over, scanning the screen. What the hell was Matt into? This isn't just contractor stuff. This is big. Ben's voice is low, steady. Mom always said Dad was good at keeping secrets. Said he had a knack for making things look clean when they weren't. I didn't get it until now. I close the laptop, my hands shaking. I need to talk to Ethan. Face to face. No more guessing. I look at Ben. You coming? He hesitates, then nods. Yeah. But we need to be smart. If he's in deep, he might not be happy we're poking around. Lisa grabs her keys. I'm driving. You two aren't going alone. We head to Ethan's apartment, a rundown place on the edge of Raleigh with peeling paint and a flickering porch light. He's always lived like this, bouncing between jobs, always one bad day from broke. Or so I thought. Now I'm wondering if that was just another lie. I knock, my heart pounding so loud I'm sure he'll hear it. The door swings open, and there he is, my brother, in a faded hoodie, beer in hand, looking like nothing's wrong. Sarah? His eyes flick to Ben, then Lisa, and I catch it, a flash of something. Fear, maybe. What's going on? We need to talk, I say, pushing past him into the apartment. It smells like stale pizza and cigarette smoke. Lisa and Ben follow, and I don't miss how Ethan's gaze lingers on Ben, like he's trying to place him. About what? Ethan asks, shutting the door. He's playing it cool, but his hand's tight on the beer bottle. I don't waste time. I found Matt's storage unit. The photos, the papers, the USB drive. I know about Blue Horizon, the money, and you. My voice is steady, but inside, I'm shaking. What were you two doing, Ethan? His face changes, just for a second, surprise. Then a mask slips back on. You're listening to a dead man's ghost stories now? Sarah, come on. You know me. Do I? I step closer, my voice low. Matt left a video. Said you're in deep with some bad people. Said not to trust you. So tell me, Ethan, what's the truth? He laughs, but it's forced, sharp. Matt was paranoid, Sarah. He was always looking over his shoulder, thinking someone was out to get him. I helped him with some deals, sure. Small stuff. Nothing illegal. Small stuff doesn't end up in offshore accounts, Ben says, speaking for the first time. Ethan's eyes snap to him, and I can see the wheels turning. Who the hell are you? Ethan asks, his voice hard. Ben, he says simply. Matt's son. Ethan's face goes pale, like someone sucked the air out of him. He looks at me, then back at Ben, and for a moment, I think he's going to bolt. Instead, he sinks onto the couch, rubbing his face. Jesus, Sarah. You don't know what you're digging into. Then tell me, I say, sitting across from him, my hands clenched. Because right now, it looks like you and Matt were running some kind of scheme, and I was the idiot who didn't see it. Ethan leans forward, elbows on his knees, staring at the floor. It wasn't supposed to be a scheme. Matt had this side business, Blue Horizon. It started legit, construction contracts, small deals. Then he got in with these guys, investors, he called them. They had money, big money, and they needed it moved quietly. Matt was good at that. Made it look clean. And you? I ask, my voice barely holding together. What did you do? I helped, he says, not meeting my eyes. Moved some cash, signed some papers. It was easy money, Sarah. I was drowning in debt, student loans, car payments, you name it. Matt bailed me out, said it was no big deal. No big deal. I'm on my feet now, anger burning through the shock. He had a secret family, Ethan. A son. And you're telling me you were just helping with some paperwork? Ethan flinches. But he doesn't back down. I didn't know about the kid. Or the woman. Matt kept that locked up tight. All I knew was the money, and I needed it. You don't get it, Sarah. You had the perfect house, the perfect husband. I had nothing. I want to slap him, but I don't. Instead, I take a breath, trying to keep my voice steady. Who are these investors? Who was Matt scared of? Ethan hesitates, his eyes flicking to the window like he expects someone to be watching. I don't know their names. Matt dealt with them directly. But they're not people you mess with. When he died, they called me, asking where the money was. Said Matt owed them. Owed them what? Ben asks, his voice sharp. Ethan shrugs. But it's not casual, it's nervous. Million. I don't know the details. They think I have it. Or you do. He looks at me, and for the first time, I see real fear in his eyes. Sarah, you need to back off. Whatever you found, burn it. Walk away. I shake my head. I'm not walking away. Matt left me that drive for a reason. And I'm not letting you or anyone else tell me to drop it. Lisa steps forward, her voice calm but firm. Ethan, if you're in trouble, tell us now. We can help. He laughs, bitter. Help? You're already in too deep. They know you've been to the storage unit. They know about the safe. My blood runs cold. Who's they? How do they know? Ethan stands, pacing now, his hands shaking. I don't know. They've got people everywhere. Matt said they had eyes in the city, cops, bankers, you name it. I thought he was exaggerating, but after he died, he stops, looks at me. Sarah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean for you to get caught up in this. I don't know if I believe him. I want to, but the Ethan I thought I knew wouldn't be mixed up in this. What do they want? I ask. The money, he says. And whatever Matt left behind. They think he hid something, documents, proof, something they can't let get out. I think of the USB drive, the contracts, the video. Matt's warning about Ethan. I want to trust my brother, but every word out of his mouth feels like half a truth. We're done here, I say, standing. But this isn't over, Ethan. You're going to tell me everything, or I'm taking this to someone who can make you. His face hardens. Don't do that, Sarah. You don't know what you're starting. I don't answer. I just walk out, Ben and Lisa behind me. In the car, Lisa's quiet, her hands tight on the wheel. Ben's staring out the window, his jaw clenched. What now? He asks. We find out who these investors are, I say. And what Matt was hiding. He left us the drive, the safe. There's more he didn't tell us. Lisa glances at me. You sure you want to keep going? This sounds dangerous, Sarah. I nod, even though I'm not sure at all. I have to. I need to know who Matt really was. And I need to know if Ethan's lying to me. Back at Lisa's, we dig through the USB drive again. There's an audio file buried in a subfolder, labeled meeting_3-15-24. I play it, and Matt's voice crackles through, tense, talking to someone with a deep, smooth voice. They're arguing about a deal gone wrong, something about a missed payment. You don't get it, Paul, Matt says. If this gets out, we're all done. The other guy, Paul, laughs. Then make sure it doesn't, Jennings. You know what happens if you screw this up. The file cuts off. I look at Ben. Paul. You know that name? He shakes his head. Never heard it. But Dad was careful. If this guy's one of the investors, he's bad news. I think about Ethan, about the fear in his eyes. He's scared of these people, whoever they are. And now, so am I. But I'm also angry at Matt for lying, at Ethan for hiding, at myself for not seeing it sooner. I'm not stopping until I know the truth, no matter how much it hurts. I'm back at Lisa's, the USB drive sitting on her kitchen table like a bomb waiting to go off. My hands won't stop shaking, and every time I close my eyes, I hear Matt's voice from that audio file, tense and sharp, talking to some guy named Paul. I keep replaying Ethan's face too, pale, nervous, like he was one wrong word away from running. My brother, the guy who used to steal my fries and crash on my couch, is neck deep in whatever Matt was hiding. I want to believe he's just a screw-up, not a liar, but the line between the two is getting blurry. Lisa's making coffee, the pot gurgling like it's the only normal thing left in the world. Ben's on the couch, scrolling through the USB drive on his laptop, his face lit blue by the screen. There's more here, he says, not looking up. Emails, mostly. Matt was talking to someone named Paul Grayson. Sounds like he was the main guy calling the shots. Paul, I repeat, the name sour in my mouth. That's the guy from the audio. What do the emails say? Ben clicks a few times, his brow furrowing. They're cryptic. Lots of talk about the project and keeping it quiet. One from last year mentions a meeting in Charlotte. Matt was supposed to bring the ledger. No clue what that means. I rub my temples, trying to keep my head from spinning. A ledger? Like a book of accounts? Was Matt cooking books for these people? Maybe, Ben says. But there's something else. An email from Paul, dated a week before Dad died. Says, if you're out for good. No loose ends. Sounds like a threat. My stomach twists. Matt knew he was in trouble. He knew, and he still went to that meeting, still drove on that road where his car went off the curve. I want to believe it was an accident, but the more we find, the less it feels like one. We need to find this Paul guy, I say. If he was threatening Matt, he knows something. Lisa sets a mug in front of me, her eyes sharp. Sarah, you're talking about tracking down someone who might be dangerous. You sure about this? No, I admit, wrapping my hands around the mug, the warmth grounding me. But I can't just sit here. Matt left me this mess, and Ethan's part of it. I need answers. Ben nods, closing the laptop. There's an address in one of the emails. Some office in Charlotte. Could be where Paul works. We could go tomorrow. I hesitate. Charlotte's a 2-hour drive, and I'm already running on fumes. But the idea of waiting, of doing nothing, feels worse. Okay, I say. Tomorrow. But we're not telling Ethan. Not yet. Lisa raises an eyebrow. You don't trust him at all now, do you? I shake my head. I want to. But Matt's warning, it's stuck in my head. I need to know what Ethan's hiding before I talk to him again. That night, I crash on Lisa's couch, but sleep doesn't come. I keep seeing Matt's face, the way he looked in those storage unit photos, happy, free, with Claire and Ben. Not the Matt who came home to me, tired and quiet, always checking his phone. I wonder if I ever really knew him, or if I just loved the version he let me see. The pearl necklace from the safe sits in my bag, its inscription, see always, burning a hole in my thoughts. He loved her, maybe more than me. And Ethan knew something? Maybe everything. By morning, my eyes are gritty, but I'm up before Lisa or Ben. We pile into her car, the USB drive tucked in my pocket, the watch on my wrist. The drive to Charlotte is quiet, the highway stretching out under a gray sky. Ben's in the back, scrolling through his phone, looking for anything on Paul Grayson. Found a LinkedIn, he says after a while. Says he's a consultant. Some firm called Horizon Partners. Sounds like a front. Horizon, I say. Like Blue Horizon? Exactly, Ben says. Bet it's the same outfit. The address takes us to a glass office building downtown, all sleek lines and tinted windows. It looks like money, the kind of place that doesn't ask questions. We park, and Lisa turns to me. You sure about this? We don't even know if this guy's here. I'm sure, I lie, my heart hammering. Stay in the car. Text if anything looks off. Ben and I head inside. The lobby's cold, all marble and steel, with a receptionist who barely looks up. We're here to see Paul Grayson, I say, trying to sound like I belong. She glances at us, unimpressed. Do you have an appointment? No, Ben says, smooth. But it's about Blue Horizon. He'll want to talk. Her eyes flicker. Just for a second, before she picks up the phone. Mr. Grayson, 2 visitors for you. Something about Blue Horizon. A pause, then she nods. Elevator to the 8th floor. The elevator feels like a trap, the walls closing in as we climb. When the doors open, a man's waiting, mid-50s, suit crisp, hair slicked back. His smiles. Too perfect, like he's practiced it. Sarah Jennings, he says, looking at me. And you must be Ben. I'm Paul Grayson. I freeze. He knows our names. Ben's hand tenses beside me, but he keeps his cool. We need to talk about Matt. I say, forcing my voice steady. And Blue Horizon. Paul's smile doesn't waver. Come in. My office is private. We follow him into a corner office, all glass and leather. He motions to 2 chairs, but I don't sit. Neither does Ben. What do you know about Matt's death? I ask, cutting to it. Paul leans back against his desk, casual but calculating. Tragic accident. Wet roads, bad turn. You know how it goes. I don't, I say. And I don't think it was an accident. Matt left files, emails, recordings. Your name's all over them. His eyes narrow, just a fraction. Matt was a cautious man. Liked to keep records. Doesn't mean anything. It means you were threatening him, Ben says, stepping forward. We have an email. You told him no loose ends. What did you mean? Paul laughs, soft and cold. You're out of your depth, kid. Matt was in over his head, too. He thought he could play both sides, take our money, then back out when it got messy. That's not how it works. What was he into? I ask, my voice shaking now. And where does Ethan fit in? Paul's smile fades. Your brother's a small fish. He moved money, signed papers. Thought he was smarter than he is. But Matt? He was the architect. Set up shell companies, hid millions. When he got cold feet, he started hoarding evidence. Thought it'd protect him. Protect him from you? I ask. Paul shrugs. Not just me. There's others. People who don't like being crossed. My phone buzzes in my pocket. A text from Lisa, guy in a black SUV watching the entrance. Get out now. My heart skips. I glance at Ben, who nods slightly. We need to move, we're done here, I say, turning for the door. Paul's voice stops me. Sarah, you've got something I want. That drive. Hand it over, and this stays simple. I turn back, meeting his eyes. You're not getting it. And if anything happens to us, those files go to the police. He chuckles, but it's empty. You think you're the first to try that? Be careful, Sarah. Matt wasn't. We're out the door before he can say more, the elevator ride a blur. Lisa's waiting, engine running. Go, I say as we slide in. She peels out, the black SUV pulling into traffic behind us. My hands are shaking, but I'm not scared anymore. I'm angry. Matt lied, Ethan lied, and now this Paul guy thinks he can scare me off. He's wrong. And back at Lisa's, we lock the doors, pull the curtains. Ben opens the laptop again. There's one more file we didn't check, he says. Labeled contingency. I nod, my throat dry. Open it. It's a document, short, in Matt's handwriting. If you're reading this, you've found the drive. Paul Grayson and Victor Tate are the names you need. They run the show. The money's dirty, drugs, maybe worse. Ethan's in too deep, but he doesn't know everything. Use the files to protect yourself. I'm sorry, Sarah. I loved you, even if I screwed it up. I stare at the words, my chest tight. Victor Tate. Another name, another piece of the puzzle. And Matt, still trying to control things from the grave. I look at Ben. We need to find Tate. And we need to figure out how to use these files before Paul makes a move. Lisa grabs her phone. I know a guy, an old friend from college. He's a lawyer, specializes in this kind of thing. We can trust him. I nod, but my mind's on Ethan. My brother's in this up to his neck, and I don't know if I can save him. Or if I want to. Lisa's kitchen feels like a bunker, the kind of place you hole up in when the world's falling apart. The curtains are drawn, the USB drive sitting on the table like it's daring us to keep going. My head's pounding, a mix of too little sleep and too many lies. Matt's note, Paul Grayson and Victor Tate, keeps looping in my mind. My husband, the man who'd kiss my forehead before leaving for work, was tangled up with people who sound like they'd bury you for looking at them wrong. And Ethan, my own brother, is part of it. I want to grab him, shake him, make him tell me why he let himself get sucked into this. But I'm also scared of what he'll say. Ben's at the table, laptop open, scrolling through the last of the files. His face is tight, like he's holding back something heavy. There's an address, he says finally. For Victor Tate. Some warehouse outside Durham. Looks like a storage place, but it's tied to Blue Horizon. A warehouse? Lisa asks, setting down her coffee. That sounds sketchy as hell. Yeah, I say, my voice flat. But so's everything else. I'm thinking about Paul. Grayson's slick smile, the way he said Matt wasn't careful. I'm thinking about that black SUV tailing us. I'm thinking about Ethan, how he couldn't look me in the eye. We need to check it out, I say. If Tate's the other big player, maybe there's something there, proof, answers, anything. Ben nods, but his eyes flick to mine. You. Sure. After Paul, we know these guys aren't playing around. I'm sure, I say, even though my stomach's twisting. Matt left us this trail for a reason. I'm not stopping now. Lisa grabs her keys. Then I'm coming. You're not walking into some creepy warehouse without me. The drive to Durham is quiet, the kind of quiet that presses against your chest. It's late afternoon, the sky heavy with clouds that look ready to burst. The warehouse is off a back road, surrounded by overgrown fields and rusted machinery. It's not what I expected, not some high-tech lair, just a squat, gray building with a faded sign that says Tate Logistics. The parking lot's empty except for a single black truck. My heart skips. It looks like the SUV from Charlotte. We should have brought a bat, Lisa mutters, parking behind a stack of crates. Or a gun. I don't laugh. My hands are sweaty. As we get out, Ben leading the way to a side door. It's locked, but there's a keypad, and I'm betting the code from Matt's watch, July 19th, 24, will work. It does. The door clicks open, and we slip inside. It smells like dust and metal, the air thick and stale. Rows of crates line the walls, some labeled, some not. In the corner, there's an office with a glass window, light spilling out. Stay low, Ben whispers, moving toward the office. My heart's hammering, but I follow, Lisa right behind me. Through the window, I see a man, tall, broad, maybe 60, with gray hair and a face like he's never smiled. He's on the phone, voice low but sharp. I don't care what Grayson says. Find the drive, or we're all done. My breath catches. That's Victor Tate. I know it without being told. Ben pulls me back behind a crate, his hand on my arm. He's talking about the USB, he whispers. We need to hear more. We creep closer, staying out of sight. Tate's pacing now, his voice rising. Jennings was a liability. Always. Was. If his wife or that kid starts sniffing around, we clean it up. No loose ends. My blood runs cold. Clean it up. They're talking about me. About Ben. I want to run, but my legs feel like lead. Lisa's gripping my hand so tight it hurts. Then Tate says something that stops me dead. Ethan's handled. He'll do what we say, or he's out. Ethan. My brother. They've got him scared, or worse, bought. I look at Ben, his face pale but set, like he's ready to storm in there. I shake my head, mouthing, not now. We need to get out, regroup. Figure out what to do with this. We're almost to the door when my phone buzzes. Stupid thing, I forgot to silence it. The sound echoes, and Tate's voice cuts off. Who's there? He barks. Footsteps, heavy and fast. We bolt, the door slamming behind us as we sprint to the car. Lisa's already in the driver's seat, engine running. Go! I yell, and she floors it, gravel spitting under the tires. The black truck doesn't follow, but I feel Tate's eyes on us, like he knows exactly who we are. Back at Lisa's, I'm shaking so bad I can barely hold the glass of water she hands me. They're going to kill us, I say, the words spilling out before I can stop them. They killed Matt, didn't they? It wasn't an accident. Ben's pacing again, his fists clenched. Maybe. That crash, no skid marks. And now Tate's talking about cleaning up. It fits. Lisa sits next to me, her voice steady. We need to go to the cops, Sarah. This is too big. I shake my head. Matt said they've got people, cops, bankers. We don't know who to trust. I think about Ethan, how he's handled. I want to call him, scream at him, but what if he's working with them? What if he's been lying this whole time? Then what? Lisa asks. You can't just keep running. I look at the USB drive, still in Ben's pocket. We use this. Matt said it's protection. We need to know everything on it, every file, every name. If we're going to fight back, we need leverage. Ben nods, pulling out the laptop. There's one file we haven't opened. It's encrypted, labeled final. Could be what Tate's after. It takes hours, but Ben cracks the encryption using the date from one of Claire's photos, her birthday, he guesses. The file opens, and it's a goldmine, detailed records of Blue Horizons deals, names, dates, amounts. Drug money, laundered through fake contracts. Paul Grayson and Victor Tate are all over it, along with a third name, Margaret Tate. Victor's wife, maybe? There's also a letter, digital this time, from Matt to Sarah. Ben, if you've got this far, you know the truth. I didn't want this life, but once I was in, I couldn't get out. Grayson and Tate run everything. Ethan was supposed to be a small player, but they've got him on a leash. If you're reading this, you've got enough to take them down. But be careful, Margaret's the one who watches. She's smarter than both of them. Use the files, but don't trust anyone. Not even family. I feel sick. Margaret Tate. Another player, and Matt's warning about Ethan cuts deeper now. I look at Ben. We need to find Margaret. If she's the brains, she's the key. Lisa's friend, the lawyer, agrees to meet us tomorrow. He's our only shot at making sense of this legally, maybe keeping us safe. But as I lie on Lisa's couch that night, the pearl necklace in my hand, I can't shake the feeling that we're running out of time. Matt's gone, Ethan's compromised, and Tate's watching. I'm not just fighting for answers anymore, I'm fighting to stay alive. The lawyer's office smells like old books and coffee, a small space tucked above a bookstore in downtown Raleigh. Lisa's friend, Tom Carver, is older than I expected, maybe 50, with glasses that slip down his nose and a voice that's calm but sharp. He's got the USB drive in front of him, the laptop screen glowing with Matt's files. I'm sitting across from him, Ben next to me, Lisa standing by the door like she's ready to bolt if someone knocks. My hands are sweaty, and the pearl necklace is in my pocket, a heavy reminder of Claire, of Matt's other life. I keep thinking about Margaret Tate, the name from Matt's letter. If she's the brains behind this, she's the one we need to outsmart. Tom leans back, adjusting his glasses. This is a lot, Sarah. Money laundering, shell companies, drug connections. Your husband was in deep, and from what you've told me, so's your brother. These files are enough to bring charges, but we need to be strategic. Grayson and the Tates aren't small time. They've got reach. What kind of reach? Ben asks, his voice tight. Tom sighs. The kind that buys cops, judges, maybe even feds. I've seen cases like this before. You don't just walk into a police station with this and expect it to go smoothly. I swallow hard, thinking about Matt's warning, don't trust anyone. Not even family. Ethan's face flashes in my mind, his nervous laugh, the way he dodged my questions. What about Ethan? I ask. Can we protect him if he's involved? Tom's eyes soften, but his tone stays firm. If he's cooperating with them, it's tricky. We'd need him to testify. But from what you've said, he's scared. That makes him unpredictable. I nod, my chest tight. I want to save Ethan, but I don't even know if he's worth saving anymore. So what do we do? I ask. Tom taps the USB drive. We make copies, digital, physical, stored in safe places. One stays with me, one with you, and one with someone unconnected. Then we draft a letter, a warning. Let Grayson and the Tates know you've got the files and you're not afraid to use them. It's leverage, not a guarantee. Lisa steps forward, arms crossed. And if they don't back off? That Victor guy didn't exactly seem like the negotiating type. Tom's mouth quirks, not quite a smile. Then we go to the press. Leak just enough to make them nervous without exposing everything. It's a last resort, but it works. I look at Ben, who's been quiet, his jaw tight. What do you think? I ask. He hesitates, then says, we do it. But we need to find Margaret Tate first. Dad said she's the one watching. If we can get to her, we might figure out how to shut this down. Tom nods. I'll dig into her. The files mention a Margaret Tate, no address, but I've got contacts who can track her down. Give me a day. We leave the office, the USB drive copied and tucked back in my pocket. Outside, the air's thick with humidity, the kind that sticks to your skin. Lisa's car is parked a block away, and we walk fast, my eyes scanning for that black truck or anything else that feels off. Ben's quiet, but I can tell he's thinking about Claire, about what Matt left behind for him too. You okay? I ask as we reach the car. He shrugs, his eyes distant. I thought I knew him, you know? Even with the secrets, I thought he was at least honest with me. But this, he shakes his head. It's like he was playing everyone. I don't know what to say, because I feel the same. Matt was my husband, my home, and now he's a stranger who left me a mess to clean up. We'll figure it out, I say, more for myself than him. Together. That night, I can't sleep. Lisa's on her couch, scrolling through her phone. while Ben's in the guest room, probably staring at the ceiling like me. I keep the necklace in my hand, running my thumb over the pearl, the "See Always" inscription mocking me. I wonder what Claire was like, if she knew about me, if she loved him the way I thought I did. I wonder if Ethan knew about her, if he helped Matt hide her 2.my phone buzzes, an unknown number. I hesitate, then answer, keeping my voice low. Hello? Sarah Jennings? The voice is smooth, female, older. This is Margaret Tate. I think we need to talk. My heart stops. I sit up, gripping the phone. How'd you get my number? A soft laugh. Your husband wasn't the only one good at keeping tabs. I know you've been to Victor's warehouse. I know about the files. Let's meet. Tomorrow, noon, the cafe on Morgan Street. Come alone. No way, I say, my voice shaking. I'm not walking into a trap. It's not a trap, she says, calm as anything. It's a chance to end this without anyone getting hurt. Bring the drive, and we can talk terms. I don't trust her, not for a second, but her voice has this pull, like she's used to getting what she wants. I'll think about it, I say, and hang up before she can push. I wake Lisa and Ben, tell them everything. Lisa's eyes narrow. You're not going alone. No chance. Ben agrees. She's playing you. If she's as smart as Dad said, she's got a plan. I nod, but my mind's racing. Margaret's the key, the one Matt warned us about. If I can get her to talk, I might learn what Ethan's really into, what Matt was so scared of. But I'm not stupid. I'm not walking in there without backup. The next morning, we head to the cafe early. It's a small place, all exposed brick and hipster vibes, crowded enough to feel safe but not so packed we can't move. Lisa and Ben take a table in the corner, pretending to be strangers, while I sit near the window, the USB drive in my pocket, my heart in my throat. At noon sharp, a woman walks in, tall, maybe 60, with silver hair pulled back and eyes that see everything. She's dressed like she's going to a board meeting, not a coffee shop. She spots me immediately and slides into the seat across from me. Sarah, she says, her voice just as smooth as on the phone. You look like you haven't slept. What do you want? I ask, skipping the small talk. She smiles, thin and cold. The drive. All copies. In exchange, you and your brother walk away clean. No one comes after you. And Ben? I ask, testing her. Her eyes flicker, just for a second. Matt's boy? He's no threat. He gets the same deal. I lean forward, keeping my voice low. You think I'm just going to hand over everything? Matt said you're the one pulling the strings. Why should I trust you? She laughs, soft and sharp. Matt was always dramatic. I'm just a businesswoman, Sarah. Your husband got in over his head, and now you're cleaning up his mess. Give me the drive, and this ends. I think about the files, the proof of drugs and money and lies. I think about Ethan, caught in their web. I think about Matt, dead on a road with no skid marks. And if I don't? I ask, her smile fades. Then you'll find out how far Victor's willing to go. And trust me, he's not as patient as I am. I glance at Ben and Lisa, their eyes on us. I've got a choice, play her game or walk away. But Matt's voice is in my head, telling me to fight. I lean back, crossing my arms. I'll need more than promises, Margaret. I want Ethan out, completely. And I want to know what happened to Matt. Her eyes narrow, but she doesn't flinch. You're braver than he was. I'll give you that. Meet me tomorrow, same time, with the drive. I'll have answers. She stands and leaves, her heels clicking on the floor. My heart's racing, but I feel something new, control. For the first time, I'm not just reacting. I'm in the game, and I'm not playing to lose. I'm standing in my old kitchen, the one I shared with Matt, the one where we'd cook breakfast on lazy Sundays and laugh over spilled coffee. It's empty now, just like me. The USB drive, the real one, is tucked in a safe deposit box at the bank, and Tom's got copies with instructions to release them if anything happens to me. Ethan's supposed to meet me here in 10 minutes, and my stomach's in knots. I don't know if he's coming as my brother or as their pawn. Lisa's waiting in her car outside, and Ben's at a nearby diner, ready to move if I text. I'm alone, but not really. Not anymore. The doorbell rings, and my heart jumps. Ethan's there, looking rough, bags under his eyes, hair messy, like he hasn't slept in days. He steps inside, hands in his pockets, and for a second, he's just my little brother again. But then I see the way his eyes dart around, like he's expecting trouble. Sarah, he says, voice low. You said no more lies. Yeah, I say, crossing my arms. So start talking. What did you do for Matt? For Grayson and the Tates? And don't give me that small stuff crap. He sighs, sinking into a chair at the kitchen table. I messed up, okay? Matt got me a job with Blue Horizon a few years back. Said it was easy money, move some cash, sign some papers. I didn't ask questions. I was broke, Sarah. You know how it was. I know you lied to me, I snap. You knew about Matt's other life, didn't you? Claire, Ben, the whole thing? He shakes his head, fast. No. I swear, I didn't know about the kid or the woman. Matt never said a word about them. I just handled the money. When I figured out it was dirty, drugs, maybe worse, I wanted out, but they wouldn't let me. Grayson and Victor, they said I owed them. Said if I stopped, they'd come after me. After you. My chest tightens. Me? Why? Because you're Matt's wife, he says, his voice breaking. They knew he was keeping files, evidence. When he died, they thought you had it. That's why I asked about the loan. I was trying to see if you'd found anything, to keep them off you. I want to believe him, but Matt's warning, don't trust anyone, sits heavy. Matt said you were in too deep. Said they had you on a leash. Is that true? Ethan's eyes drop to the table. Yeah. They've got stuff on me, documents I signed, accounts in my name. If I talk, I'm done. Prison, maybe worse. I lean forward, my voice low. Then why are you here, Ethan? Why show up? He looks up, and for the first time, I see the kid who used to cry when Mom yelled at him. Because you're my sister. I screwed up, but I don't want you hurt. I'll tell you what I know, but you have to promise to keep me out of it. I nod, even though I'm not sure I can keep that promise. Tell me about Margaret. What's her deal? Ethan swallows hard. She's the one who calls the shots. Victor's the muscle, Grayson's the front, but Margaret's the brain. She's got connections everywhere, banks, cops, even politicians. Matt was scared of her most of all. Said she'd do anything to protect their operation. Did she kill him? I ask, my voice barely a whisper. Ethan hesitates, then shakes his head. I don't know. But the crash, it wasn't random. Matt was meeting Victor that night, said he was done. Next thing I know, he's gone. My hands clench into fists. Margaret's face flashes in my mind, her cold smile, her smooth lies. She didn't admit to murder at the cafe, but she didn't have to. I know she's behind it. What do they want now? I ask. The files, Ethan says. Everything Matt hid. They're cleaning house, Sarah. If you've got those files, they'll come for you. They already have, I say, thinking of the black truck, Paul's threats, Margaret's deal. I gave Margaret a fake drive. She thinks she's got it all. Ethan's eyes widen. You did what? Sarah, that's dangerous. If she finds out, she won't, I say, hoping I sound surer than I feel. We've got copies, and Tom's ready to leak them if they try anything. But I need you to do something, Ethan. Come clean. Talk to Tom. If you testify, we can take them down. He shakes his head, panic in his eyes. I can't. They'll kill me. Then what? I snap, my patience gone. You keep running? You let them own you? You're my brother, Ethan, but I'm not losing my life to save yours. He's quiet. For a long time, staring at the table. Finally, he nods. Okay. I'll talk to Tom. But you have to promise me something, don't go after Margaret alone. She's not like the others. I don't promise anything. Instead, I text Ben and Lisa, he's talking. Meet at Tom's. We drive to the lawyer's office, Ethan in the back seat, silent and pale. Tom's waiting, his desk cluttered with papers. He listens as Ethan spills everything, names, dates, deals. It's worse than I thought. Blue Horizon wasn't just laundering money, it was a front for a drug ring stretching across 3 states. Ethan was a cog, not a mastermind, but he knew enough to be useful. To us, and to them. Tom records it all, his face grim. This is enough to start building a case, he says when Ethan's done. But we need more. Margaret's too careful to be caught on paper. We need her to slip up. I've got the recording from the cafe, I say. She didn't admit to killing Matt, but she called his crash convenient. Tom nods. It's a start. We'll send her a copy, let her know we're not bluffing. But Sarah, you and Ben need to lay low. If they're as connected as Ethan says, you're not safe. I think about Matt, about the life I thought we had. I think about Ben, who lost a father he barely knew. I think about Ethan, my brother, who's finally trying to do right. I'm done hiding, I say. We send the recording, the files, everything. To Margaret, to the feds, to the press if we have to. Let them know we're not backing down. Ben nods, his eyes steady. Dad wanted us to have this. He knew it had come to this. Ethan looks at me, his voice small. I'm sorry, Sarah. For everything. I want to hug him, tell him it's okay, but I can't. Not yet. Just stick with Tom, I say. Help him end this. We leave the office, the weight of it all still pressing down. That night, Tom sends the package, copies of the files, the recording, a letter saying we've got more and we're not afraid to use it. I don't sleep, waiting for a response, for a black truck to pull up outside. But nothing comes. 2 weeks later, I'm in a new apartment, a small place outside Raleigh with bare walls and no memories of Matt. The feds are moving on Blue Horizon, thanks to Ethan's testimony and the files. Margaret's gone quiet, no calls, no threats. Maybe she's running, maybe she's planning. I don't know. Ethan's in protective custody, and Ben's staying with Lisa, figuring out his next move. I'm alone, but it doesn't feel empty anymore. It feels like a start. I keep the pearl necklace, not because I want it, but because it's proof of Matt's lies, of the life he hid, of the woman I'm not anymore. I'm Sarah Jennings, widow, survivor, and for the first time, I'm not afraid of the truth. Whatever comes next, I'm ready.